Well, hello. Well, we know that's not Jack Nicklaus. Could it be Jack Nicklaus's caddy? No, I don't think so. All right, let's go find everybody else.
It fits in nicely. It's going to provide a lot of enjoyment and relaxation and frustration too for a lot of golfers, and it's going to be a wonderful place for a lot of people to enjoy having a home to be able to view over it and enjoy the atmosphere we'll be here. So I've been very blessed with the ability, I guess, to be able to play the game and to be able to continue on taking what I've learned playing the game and put it on a piece of ground that'll be here long beyond my golf game of my lifetime makes me a pretty lucky man. And so I thank you all for giving me the opportunity to be involved here with Kirk and Mike and Alan. And I just hope that you all, as time goes on, enjoy this and have as much fun playing it as I've had building it. Now, I guess we're going to open this up for a few questions while we're here, if we may. And then I guess we're going on to a ribbon cutting. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Supposed to be green grass out here, not supposed to be mud. I had enough of this on me when we built this place.
I'd like to welcome everybody here today to Governor's Club, and to start this beautiful festive day off, I'd like to call on the Reverend Bill Gaddis, Minister of the University Methodist Church in Chapmanville, to have the invocation. Let us all pray. O God, the creator of all of nature's infinite beauty, God of mountain, stream, forest, meadow, and fairway, God of Augusta, Pinehurst, and now God of Governor's Club, the true designer of all that enhances life, we gather to petition your blessing upon this new community. All that surrounds us is yours. Receive now our human efforts to redesign this space for the added enjoyment and service of your people. We give you thanks for that you inspire us to pursue noble work and hopes and play. Especially today, we acknowledge those who by vision, example, and instruction have given us the refreshment and the challenge of the game of God. Bless now those who shall play here amid the sweeping fairways, troublesome traps, and lofty greens, that they may find pleasure in their quest and a sense of awe in these magnificent surroundings. Bless those who manage and labor here, that their work may be both entrusting and fulfilling. And bless those whose residences shall be here, that they may be more than owners of house and property, but sense the security of home and community. And like an eagle on a long par 5, may all who visit and ultimately live here be filled with delight, the thrill of unexpectancy, and lasting memory. In the name of the one by whose grace we all qualify, despite our unlimited handicaps. Amen. Glad you could all come out today. It's just a brief little agenda.
We have more golf courses per governor than any other state. Now we got the governor's course. And Jack, we're just as proud as we can be. Glad to welcome you here. You notice that Chairman Dunlap and I, along with Jack, the only three wearing work clothes here today. Little joke there. But I never cease to be amazed at the level of philosophy that's associated with the game of golf, both in the prayer and in the news conference, and as we work our way around the course. Kirk, glad to be here with you. Good luck to you.
Well, this next fellow needs an introduction. When we decided to do Governor's Club, we want to create a unique living environment, and we basically turned the entire tract of land over to Jack to design what will be one of the finest courses in the country, and then we said we'll design the community around that. And I think as you walk around today, you'll see that he has done a magnificent job here. I'd like to ask him, Mr. Jack Nicklaus, to come and say a few words. Thank you, Mayor. All I can say is that we had a magnificent piece of property to work with. We were very, very fortunate here. And I don't see our guys, Jim White, who worked with me out here.
Kurt Bradley and Gail and Ronnie Parker had just expressed
over to the practice fairway. We'll start the clinic in a few minutes.
That's really good.
That didn't work out so well, did it? I had you back there at one time, now I'll move you back out. You can ever lie behind, see? You just sit down over here on this side? Let's see.
A hole in one.
Promise what? Get a hole in one. You don't have to worry about it this time. I'm going to try. I promise get a hole in one at 14, okay? If I don't, it's right over here. It's very close to the club. I should just all come on in. Oh, ouch. We did a whole bunch of exercises, too. 2 sets today. I did a set before I left home and then a set when I got here and there. Played yesterday for the first time in a while. Went out with my son Gary, who was recovering from some stuff, and he only beat me by 2 shots. He said, yeah, you're real sick. How's Gary doing? He's doing fine. He had a virus that attacked the heart, and which is not an uncommon thing. And just like having a cold or something, but just attacked the wrong place. Just like weakened the muscle, which is going to, like, I think 4 to 6 weeks to heal, just like any other muscle. If you pull a hamstring, it's going to take 4 to 6 weeks, same thing. And I think the last 5 times we played, he's beaten me. 4 of them before he was sick. Okay. Listen to myself talk. What we'll do here is just sort of go through a little bit of how I go about playing the game and how I prepare for a round of golf. What I start off with is I come out to any practice range and I hit a few shots. I don't really care where the ball goes. I just get nice and loose and just sort of swing the club. Wherever it goes, we'll make my feelings. First few shots, what I try to do for the day is sort of set a tone and feel. I try to get relaxed and try to get myself in a position to where I let the natural parts of my golf swing work. And if my natural parts of my golf swing are working, then most of the times that apply a few fundamentals to it, I'll be able to get to the first tee. So as I'm sitting here, all I'm really thinking of is trying to get loosened up, just swinging at the golf ball. And I say it just sets sort of a relaxing tone for the day. Notice the concussion should be the dominant part of the golf swing. As long as I always like a statement that was made by Sam Snead. I thought it was a good statement. Sam said the good golfers play from the knees up, great golfers play from the ground up. How you doing? Sam ever say that? It's truth, though. And what I mean by that is that if you play from here up, your feet are locked, you're going to be playing a lot with your upper body. And you're not going to really be smooth or consistent. Good golfers always play with their feet, moving with their feet. If they can move their feet, you can only play golf and swing as fast as your feet move. That's where they dominate pace and everything else in the swing. The ball will start to move a little bit further because I'll start to swing out a little bit more. Start to hold on to the club a little bit more. Not at any point ever changing the way I hold on to it throughout the swing. Meaning I want to make sure that my pressure of my grip is uniform throughout the golf swing. When I change my grip pressure, then many other things happen in my swing. None of them are very pleasant. So after I hit a few wedges, I feel like I'm more confident of that. And I'm generally move on to an 8 iron. An 8 iron, I've got a little longer swing, a shade longer. And that brings about an 8 iron shot. And if my stance is a shade wider, nothing else much changes. Swing is basically the same. About an 8 iron. Wasn't that one? About 140 yards. When I finished my 8th and average. And again, I'm really not worried too much about things except fundamentals of using my feet, keeping my head in position. Now I have, yesterday was the first time I played in 2 weeks, so when I haven't played, I generally work on fundamentals, and I generally work on fundamentals throughout the round. Just work on basic things. I won't try to do too many fancy things. If I do that, and I keep working back to those fundamentals every day, and generally speaking, my game won't ever get really too far off. Seem reasonable? Then we start to get to middle irons and 5 irons. We start to get to the right of the golf ball from moving up to right to left. Sometimes intentionally, sometimes not. But that's the time you start to see the ball start to move when you start to get to the middle irons, I suppose. And what I do is, first of all, hit a couple of just fairly normal 5 irons here if I can. If I can hit a normal 5 iron. And find out that green's about a 5 iron distance.
Yeah, this is sick.
And wonderful. Anyway, after I hit a couple, I sort of tell you a little bit how the philosophy or how I play. What I do is I never really ever try to hit a straight shot, based on the fact that I said if we start to move the ball right to left to right, sometimes intentionally or not, all of us have a tendency to play one way or the other. Whether we want to or not, we all have a tendency to hit a little draw or hit a little fade. So I say go ahead and use it. Go ahead and allow for it. You ever aim the ball at the flag, the only time the ball's ever going to go at the flag is just for the shot. The rest of the time, all you do is just see it go away, right? There's nothing more unpleasant in the game of golf than to hit a shot just like it. Leave the target. So I either aim with the left of the target and play a slight fade, or aim with the right and play a slight draw. It's nice to go out and see a ball, and then all of a sudden see it start working towards the target. Get excited about it. Plus the fact that if I'm aiming the ball at the target and I hit a 30-foot or 40-foot shot offline, I'm going to be 30 or 40 feet offline. If I'm aiming to the left of the target, and I know I'm going to cut it, I'm aiming 15 feet left, I cut it a little bit. I'm always working through the hole. If I hit it all the way to a bad shot, I'm still only 15 feet from the hole. So I've got a couple ways of getting the ball close to the hole. And how do I do that? Well, there's only one thing that makes the ball move left to right, and that's if the club face is in that position. It impacts when you have a straight line through the ball. It's putting a spin on the ball. It makes it go to the right. So if we just stand up, and I try to develop one swing and one swing only, and I just open the club face slightly, aim slightly to the left of the target, and go ahead and make exactly the same swing I did before, and then the ball moves a little bit to the right, and it has to. It doesn't have any choice. And you notice the ball went shorter. Now, when the ball goes shorter, it's because you put more loft on the golf. So if I've got a 5-iron distance and I'm going to play a little bit of a fade, I'll play it with a 4-iron. Likewise, if I'm going to take and play a draw, there's only one thing that I'm going to do is play a draw, and that's the way the club face is going to hit the ball, just slightly closed. And that's going to take loft off the club, so if I'm going to have 5-iron distance, I'll hit it with a 6-iron. So if I'm going to hit a little draw, I just aim to close the club face slightly, hit exactly the same golf swing. Should produce a little draw. Probably will go a little bit further. That's really how I go about trying to play golf. So now, and I think you go out and practice range and sort of fool around with it a little bit. Say, okay, how much am I going to fade it? How much am I going to hook it? How much am I going to lose? How much do I have to aim? What am I going to do? And you start to put all those little elements together. And you try to put all those little elements together and see how you put it together in a golf game. So I'm standing up there. I've got water on the right of the green, the pins on the right. I don't want to take a chance to hit the ball in trouble on the right. I don't want to bring it up. I'll draw in over that water if I happen to hit the ball poorly. So I'll aim it out here to the left. Try to work from the safe side of the hole in. If I can work from the safe side of the hole in, aim just to the left of the hole here. Try to hit a normal shot. I didn't quite fade it enough, but wherever I miss it, I'm on the side that I can recover and play from. And likewise, don't go in the other direction. So that's really what I try to do. Now, I said I try to use one golf swing and one golf swing throughout the swing. Throughout the golf game. I try not to. Got a 2-iron. Of course, when I get a 2-iron, I'm going to change my swing, right? Sure, I'm not going to use the same swing with this club because, nobody can play this club. It's just too difficult to play. So what I want to do is... I'm up there where I can play a 7-iron. I like to play 7-irons. That's fun. I wouldn't want to use the same swing with this. I might end up hitting a good shot. So obviously what I try to do is I pick out my favorite club. For a lot of people, 7-iron's about as easy an iron as I know to play. So what do most people do? You pick out a 2-iron, you say, okay, I've just got a 7 here. If it still says 2 on the bottom, put a piece of tape over it and write 7 on it. If you want to put 7 on all your clubs, if that's what you like. Now, Bobby Locke, I always remember that. Bobby Locke had a set of golf clubs. He loved to play 4-irons. So his whole set of golf clubs said 4 on them. Every club was a 4. What'd you play, Bobby? 4-iron. Doesn't matter. So he's 100 yards or 200 yards. He played a 4-iron. But that was the way he thought. That was a good mental approach. And the point of it is, use the same swing throughout the golf game. Try to repeat that swing. It doesn't really make much difference what club you have in your bag or in your hand. Use the same swing to get a good result. So here we are. Let's take this 7-iron here. It says 2 on the bottom of it. See what happens. Okay. How far that 7-iron? Fun 7-iron. Okay. Now, how do you use that? How do you use that to make it practical? You've probably heard me say it before, but go to the practice tee and take a 7-iron and a 2-iron and just alternate it so you can hit the 2-iron with the same swing you're using with the 7-iron. If you do that pretty soon, you're going to find that you can do it. You get to the golf course, what happens first time you got a 2-iron shot? You say, excuse me to your partner for a second, you go get another ball, put it down the ground, hit a 7-iron, and then play a 2-iron. I mean, you're going to need a tolerant playing partner. You can do this a couple of times, and when you get to take to the golf course and do that a couple of times, pretty soon you're going to get it in your mind you can play a long iron. I just think that's an important thing to do, is be able to use the same golf swing throughout the bag. And okay, I wasn't very good. So hit my 7-iron on the next shot. Well, we hit a, I'm sorry? That was long 7-iron. Too much. Now, I use the same ball position with every club. If I'm going to play a wedge, I play right here. That was back my next point anyway, because I was going to show you how I was going to play high and low. If I'm going to play a wedge, I'm playing right here. Okay? The only thing I do when as the club gets longer, I just move away, widen my stance. Okay? But I find it so much easier if I put the ball in the same position relative to my left heel, which is just inside it. For most people, if you put the ball there, you're going to find that as you stand up to a golf club, you swing. I try to remain in what I call the address position throughout the golf swing. That's this position. So I've got total support of the golf club. If I move to right here and I turn around, I'm still in that same address position. If I go to the top of the swing and I move it around here, bring it back down, I'm still in that same position. Likewise with the finishes. So if I'm here, bring it back around, still in the same position. The club is pointing between my arms. See the V of my arms? I always want to try to keep that club pointing between the V of my arms all through the golf swing. The minute that club starts pointing outside the V of my arms, then I've lost support of that golf club. If you got here, you can't support it. If I have the club sitting in here, you've got to try to go in any direction. I've got support of the golf club. I don't care how tight I'm holding on to it. But now, at the same time, if I'm keeping that, then as I rotate, that club's going to remain fairly square to my body. So for most people, as I go away, it's going to open in relationship to the target though. It's going to be a certain point in the swing where it's going to come back to square, which for most people is going to be about off the left heel. And that's where I try to play the ball. And it's going to close as it goes on through. Your body rotates. So that's how I really do that. Now, granted, I'm going to play other shots, play a little open for different things, some other things. But basically, I play off of that premise. Okay? Now, so if I want to, I'll show you that. Play the hook and a slice. If I'm going to play a low and a high shot, a low shot, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take loft off the golf club. That's going to close the club face. You know, we hit the 5-iron head a little further. Okay, now, if I take that thing, there's two ways to hit low. One, take loft off the club. Two, hit a little bit more in the downswing, and also take loft off the club. Now, if I do those two things, that should produce, if I play the ball off the left heel, a hook. Because I got the club face closed. If I move it back in my stance, that allows me to hit it down. What it means is all I'm going to do is come to square earlier, because I have the club face closed. So that should produce a low draw, which is probably a pretty desired shot into the wind. And that's what I try to do. I'm getting into the wind. That's one way to hit a ball low. The other way, which I think is just as important, is let's just say that I have, and long irons, that's why I do it. If I have like a 7 or an 8-iron shot and I've got the wind blowing hard in my face, what I try to do, instead of having an 8-iron distance, instead of playing a 7-iron, I might go to a 6 or a 5-iron, make it about a sand wedge length with about a 5-iron loft. And what I do with that is so that the more loft, the less loft you have on the golf club, the less spin you're going to put on the ball. The only thing that makes the ball go offline, balloon up in the air, is spin. So, or hook or slice. So if I can eliminate the spin, then I'm not going to curve it. That's why you all like Serling golf balls, right? Because you can't hook and slice them. Also, you don't realize, but you can't chip and putt them either. Anyway, that's always one of my fun stories. I think that's the biggest hoax that's ever been put on the American golfing public of the world is a Serling golf ball. And, 95% of the people buy Serling golf balls now. Why? They don't cut, right? Now, why you buy them? That's it, right? Okay. You spend $30,000 to join a club. You spend $2,000 for a set of golf clubs. You buy a beautiful set of clothes and nice pair of golf shoes, and you go out to the first pro shop and you buy 2 Serlin balls rather than 3 regular balls because you don't want to cut them. Save that makes a lot of sense. You do all these things to play the best thing you can do. Get the best set of golf clubs you get, and you buy an inferior ball. If the Serlin ball was a good ball, the pros would be playing it. It would be just that simple. And I just think you got to give yourself the best chance to play golf. And a lot of golf balls the best chance. Well, anyway, let's get to that low shot. Here we are taking a spin off the ball. I use this an awful lot in the wind, or I'll choke the club right on down here like this. And all I do for an 8-foot ball, I have to play an 8-iron shot with it. Because it's not going to go. It's going to go further than that, only because the wind's not in my face. But that's a lot. I play that shot a lot. Now, if the shot's going low, the wind would have killed that. It would have stopped it. The wind would have stopped it. And that is the most important shot I know to play in the wind. And that's be able to stand right down here. Not putting spin on it, making us how you hit it. The ball is just going to move right through the wind. Wind going to affect that very much?
No.
Very hard. It just. The thing is, the wind is going to stop it. When I hit a driver and when I hit low, I hit up on it rather than down on it. Down on it, spin on it. Up on it. But that's why everybody likes a metal driver. Because you can't put spin on a metal driver. And that's why the metal driver becomes so popular. Wood driver, you can hit down on it, you still spin it up in the air and below. You can hit down on a metal driver without changing your golf swing and not spin it. The ball's still there too. That's supposedly the theory, I think. Okay, now if I want to hit the ball up in the air, obviously what I'm going to do, I'm going to open the club face, move it up in my stance so it comes square later, right? Now, why you say, well, I'm just going to take, that's going to put loft on, I'm going to go shorter. Yes, but the only time I'm going to use it is when I'm going downwind. I need to stop the ball in the green. Same golf swing. Up in the air. High enough for a 2-iron? I guess it is, isn't it? Maybe a little higher than that. If I do, I'll turn pro. Now a little club is coming in my bag, which I've never used before. It's a little 5-wood I carry with me occasionally. And every once in a while you get a place where you get some bad lies or something. You need to get the ball up in the air, or you're in the deep rough. Of course, where you can't get a long iron out, someone can take along a 5-wood, and you might just use it. That's about the same distance as my 2-iron. I've used it, I guess, 2 or 3 tournaments this year. Enough of those. Now we'll move along here to 3-wood. That would be the other choice. Woods are the things that people like to play, right? Right? You all like to play them. You know, compared to a 2-iron, you like to play wood because it's an easier club to play, probably because the wood's shorter than 2-iron. Probably because it's got a bigger face. Probably because it's got more loft. I don't find any of those things there. It's because somebody told you wood was easier to play than 2-iron, right? That's the only reason why it's easier. So you believe that you can play it, and I think it's great that you believe you can play it, and that's what you use. But I find that actually, in all truth, the most difficult club to play is the longest club with the least amount of loft you have to play off the ground. And that should be the 3-wood. Okay? So let's see.
Oh.
You know what tough that was?
Oh.
Let's try grabbing it. Done with that thing. Got by that. Right now it is, yeah. Hopefully we'll get this thing copied. This is that jumbo thing.
Oh, that's the J.
Well, I think a very high percentage are, yeah. And this is one of the jumbos, which is basically the jumbo Zaki copied his old McGregor 3-wooden driver. And came out with it, and they did a beautiful job of it. And, pardon me?
Bridgestone?
Yeah, they did a nice job of it, really good. And unfortunately for them, the average golfer can't play this club. and you've seen their ads. We will be coming up with some clubs that the average golfer can play in the near future. That was what their ads were during the PGA, if I recall. And they haven't come up with them either. But anyway, this is a copy of Jumbo's, which is an old McGregor. Now we'll be copying our McGregor. And we haven't quite got it done yet, but we're tested. We'll have it shortly. How's that for an advertisement? Commercials are over. Anyway, you might ask me, why did I take out the graphite shaft? Well, I found that the graphite shaft was fine if all my clubs are graphite. But since it isn't, all my clubs aren't graphite, the graphite was just too light for me. I would end up having, the putter's your heaviest club in the bag, and goes down to where 3 wood weighs about 14 ounces, and my normal driver weighed about 13.5 ounces. I went down to, this one went down to 12 ounces. So just to get so I could hit my driver the way I wanted to, timing-wise, meant that I couldn't hit my other clubs, or my long clubs. And if I got my long clubs right, then I couldn't hit the driver. So I took the steel shaft and put it in this club, brought it up to the same 13.5 ounces that I had in my other driver.
What length shaft do you swing?
43.5 in this.
What swing weight?
This thing's about D6. That's because of the extra half inch, it'll swing about D3 into this. Somewhere around there. I don't know where it is. It's a dynamic S. It's an S 500 tipped to about 3.5 inches, which really probably translated to about an X1 or 2. So, here we are with the driver.
Oh.
That's where the average golfer hits it. I wanted you to see how they That is really the trouble that most people have with that driver. And so, of course, the wind's blowing across this way, too. I'll try to stay in a little bit more roll this time. I did that about 4 times yesterday. Get it nice and straight, up in the air. Didn't get in any trouble. Didn't go anywhere.
How much do you use your hands on the backswing?
How much do I use them? I use them throughout my golf swing. I don't use them just on my backswing. I don't use them any more than any other part of my body. What do you mean? How much do I use my hands?
Set it. How do you set it?
Set what?
The club.
How do I set it?
Yeah.
I set it in a dress. And I leave it there. That's what basically what I said before. But the grip, remember I said earlier that the grip is uniform throughout the swing? If you have your grip, here's what I'm talking about. Grip the club like this. If I start gripping the club tighter and tighter and tighter, pretty soon I'm going to get tension in my forearms. When I get tension in my forearms, I'm gripping the club too tighter. Okay? Now, what does that mean? Now my forearms are tense. That means that my wrists won't function. I relax my forearms, my hands, then my hands are free to swing. I swing the golf club. Okay? And the minute that I go back and I change my grip pressure, then all of a sudden I'm locking up on the club somewhere. So I want to make sure if I can have a soft grip to start with, if it remains that way, the swing of the golf club will set itself. So I swing, and that's what I try to do. Guess that's an answer out of that one. I knew you had to put up with all this other stuff. Now, there's only one way I know how to hit it further. What's that? One man back there. The only one thing, this is the only thing that has to move faster. That's the only thing. Everybody says, well, I got to move my legs faster, I got to move my arms faster, I got to move my arms. Generally speaking, you try to move everything faster and this goes slower. The thing that actually hits the golf ball. So what I try to do is I just try to use all the elements of my swing to their fullest degree. If I can do that, then I've got a chance to let this move a little faster. Now, how do I do that? Well, I have to give them time to happen. So when I'm doing it, I make a very, very conscious effort. When I want to hit the ball harder, I make a conscious effort to swing as slowly as I can so that I can absolutely give myself time to let all those elements happen. If I do that, then I'm going to hit it. Now, let's take the other issue. When do you want to hit the ball hard? I'm going out here today and play this golf course. I don't know how many times in this golf course I'm going to need to hit the ball harder or hit it further. If there's a hole out here that I might want to hit the ball, I need a normal tee shot won't get me home on a par 5. 10 or 15 extra yards will get me home, and there's not a great deal of penalty. In other words, if I hit it and I put it in a bunker or something, and I'm going to have to lay it up out of the bunker just like I would out of the fairway, then I'll go ahead and take that gamble. But if I'm going to hit it, I'm going to go and swing at it hard and instead of hitting a 5-iron to the green, I'm going to hit a 6-iron. But if I don't hit it right, I'm going to end up making 8. And obviously, I'm not going to take that gamble. So I think you have to use your head of when you're going to hit the ball hard. And so if I get a fairway as wide as this driving range, and I can gain a little something, I might need a little wider. Narrow range. Anyway, that's what I try to do. Here we are. Try to hit it up here a little bit slower so you can make good contact with it. Long as full swing as I possibly can. Good weight shift, good movement of the feet. And I got it over. I didn't hit it very solid. Okay, so I missed it. Now, big deal. I'm up where I would have been if I'd have hit a normal tee shot. And I can go ahead and lay it up where I was before. Okay. One last thing I forgot to talk to you about. That's how to aim a golf ball. And aiming of a golf ball is, I always pick out a spot. Is it easier to line up a 2-foot putter or a 40-foot putter? Is it easier to line up something 3 feet away or something 250 yards away? Well, it should be something close. Okay. So let's just say I want to pull over that flag up there. I'll go up here. I might find any place, anything might be some divots. Heaven forbid, it won't be divots on this golf course. It might be a divot out over here. I pick a divot or a piece of grass or something that's easily recognizable. And what I do is I push a golf shot from back here. I find that spot. As I'm walking up, I draw a straight line from that spot back through the ball. Now what I do is I walk up, take a parallel stance to that spot. Now it does a couple things for me. First of all, I know that now I'm aimed pretty much where I want to aim. Secondly, I look and see the 2 parallel lines just sort of in my head, and I can see where the ball is played in my stance. So I'm going to be I'm checking fundamentals when I do that. So now here I am. I pick my spot, parallel stance. I don't need to look at that target. I'm going to hit the ball pretty much at that flag. I'm going to start it somewhere. I mean, I hit a perfect shot, but I'm going to start it pretty much at that flag. Nice swing. I can do that better than that.
Pick a different spot.
First time I've done that in 12 years. Pick my spot, take a parallel stance, okay? No need to look at this. No need to look at my target.
All right.
I would think if you can hit the ball that close to your target without looking at it, that's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
So what I do, I'm not going to hit anymore, I'm done. So I get up here, I take my line, then I just adjust for comfort. So I put confidence in myself. Once I'm ready to hit it, then I go hit it. I don't stand there like the average golfer does. Well, that looks like it's lined up. Well, I'm not quite ready to hit it.
He does?
Yeah.
Hey, Al. Let's go over and shake hands with him.
It's a good shot, Dad. It's pretty.
Uh-huh. Yeah, this is Jack Nicklaus getting ready to tee off on the par 4, or the hole 4, which is a par 3.
Oh, yeah.
Play two here. Bring the water to this way, which is over down with this pin position today. Take the water out of play, put the bunker, put it into an area here, bring two bunkers into play. Or you go for a lump, you take the big bunker back from there, and you got a little larger on the shot. So you got several elements to play to it. Play is kind of nice to get different shots and different holes, so it doesn't play like the same hole every time. This one, you guys want to stand back about 4 more steps? I think one will probably be sufficient. Take it out. Now this one, greens are only running 9. Should know that, should be. That's short, that's pretty good. I'm sure this is the right thing here.
Right.
Move.
What'd you get, sir?
I had a pitching wedge out, but it felt like that bank was moving.
Man. Yeah, I'll just spread out.
You're not going to have many of it this way. Go for 4, get one in the hole.
It's a good roll.
I heard that familiar sound.
Pretty good.
Play them all downhill. That's good. It means we've accomplished what we're trying to accomplish. I always feel the golf is a little bit more fun as a game playing downhill because you can see where you're going and what you're doing. And we find that through most of my golf courses, I probably have a half dozen shots during the round that are uphill in the line. Take most of the distance to get to be able to play downhill, I take it between the green and the tee. And you do that, you try to route it downhill, you're seeing everything we do. We usually place even though golf course, let's say, may measure 7,000 yards, it'll play probably 6,800 yards. And just makes it a little bit more enjoyable, more fun. I think yardage on a golf course is deceiving. I've seen a lot of golf courses, and some fellas that I know, designers, which I think is wrong, will design a golf course at 6,800 or 6,900 yards, but they play all their holes uphill so that they make it tougher, maybe they look tough on the card, but play stuff because of the yardage going uphill. Plus you can't see it and everything else, it's just not fun to do. So I like to do it the opposite direction. I don't care if my course is a little shorter to play less. We can make up for that with 8-speed greens. Okay, 173. Shouldn't be much crosswind, I guess. 6 iron. See what that does.
Beat the stick. I would.
There's Dad. Hello.
There we are in the 9th hole. Nicklaus is getting ready to tee off. Let's see if we can zoom in here. I don't know if you can see him there in the red shirt waving his arm. We'll hang with him for a minute. It's such a pretty hole. See where his ball lines up. Hey, how you doing? Not too bad. Beautiful hole, isn't it? There's the 18th over there.
Really, it's pretty.